Pledge allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Margaret, try to give a voice for us. It's hard to get your voice to go up. You know it. Okay. So, Tracy, the clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Belton. Here. Descaludi. Here. Caranci.
Here.
Nizan.
Here.
Morris.
He's trying.
Unmute yourself, Margaret. There you go.
Okay. Tom, I was just checking on audio.
Yep.
Are you here, Margaret? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you now. I could not hear you before. Thank you.
Farhagen.
Here.
Roberts. Here. Roney.
Here.
Saar.
Here.
Volo.
Here.
President Pietro.
Here.
And Councilmember Morris, the purpose for attending virtually.
Tracy, I am also here.
Now, you asked, what's your purpose for attending virtually, Margaret?
So I'm sorry, I can't hear.
The question was, why can't you attend in virtually?
Oh, I'm sorry. I am ill. I have a fever.
Thank you. I mean, not thank you for having a fever, but.
You do not need my fever.
Okay, can I have an introduction and a second to dispense with the reading of the minutes of October 15th meeting and place them on file? An introduction and a second, please. Dewan and Saoirse. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Similarly, committee reports are posted to the city website. Can I have an introduction and a second to place them on file? Saoirse and Dewan. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. Okay, there are three communications. Can I have an introduction and a second to receiving the communications? Saoirse and Dewan. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Right up, we're going to get our much delayed report from Rob Perry. Rob, you're there? I can see you.
I'm here.
Take it away.
All right, I'm just gonna grab a window, link. Okay. Step for September was $43,812. That's basically a good pace for that month. The first thing is we were awarded a $14 million CWSRF grant through the WIA Water Infrastructure Improvement Grant. So in almost all cases, the grant means that we're going to do more of a project. In this instance, it's actually not less of a project, but when we first proposed one of the major stormwater separation projects, the council bonded it for $58 million. It was with the understanding that we would continue to apply for other grants to keep reducing what the local share would be. So the first bill grant was $50 million. It was a $25 million grant and $25 million at 0% for 30 years. So this is another thing we applied for the maximum amount, which is $14 million. It's a 60-40 grant. So this will effectively reduce the city's outstanding $33 million by another, say, $8 million. So now we're down to about $25 million. And we will continue to, seek other opportunities to reduce the city's local share. So It doesn't change the project, but it does reduce the increase in the bond at the end of this project by about $275,000 a year. The Union Street sewer main is complete.
Sorry, Rob, sorry.
Yeah.
Before you move on from that, well done.
Thank you. So the Union Street sewer main project is now complete, and obviously the reason we had to do it is because there was an instance or a couple of instances where during heavy rain events there was combined sewer that was backing up into a couple basements. So that was the prime reason. But since we were doing the work, we also wanted to take the opportunity to make what other upgrades we could find in the area. So what we did is when the houses that had to be replumbed, we separated their roof and floor drains from the sanitary lines and created separate storm and separate sanitary lines. So, this is what it looks like coming out of one of the houses. And as you go out to the street, the little short blue stub is actually tied into an abandoned water force main that is now a storm line. And the longer section comes over to the new sewer main that we installed. So, we try to, what do they say? We try to get the best out of what we could for this project. The temporary restoration is done for the road.
Sorry, Rob,
Yeah.
before you move on from the Union Street project, I know that you had a request from one resident on Union Street about this. The work on Union Street, which has been terrific and is a real plus for the 400 block. The downside is that the amount of dust that has been kicked up onto the houses is pretty extensive. I live on the 400 block and I keep hosing down my porch and so forth. Is there any plan for the city to do any kind of storm washing, any hosing down of houses on the 400 block to eliminate the dust that has accumulated on the houses, or is that just up to us?
Well, right now we want to see where we are with the final project closeout. At this stage of the game, we have retainage is outstanding as well as some punch list items. And if we do have some money left in the contract, then certainly that's an option. If it's not, then we'll have to have a discussion. One of the neighbors did file a notice, a claim, if you will, for damage to some patio furniture. So, the contractor may want to just do something like this just to, kind of clear.
I did see that claim, and I'm just thinking that I think for the most part, most of the residents are not going to be going down that route. But I think that if there is a plan to try to do some level of storm washing, power washing on the houses that were impacted by the dust, to do it.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, once we have our hard numbers for where we are, we can figure out what the options can be for them.
What would be helpful to me, Rob, would be given that I live on 400 and I field all of these issues and questions from my neighbors. Just keep me posted on where the city is on this so that I can give them information. That would be good.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. So this is restoration over the trench where the sewer main was put in. This is one of the manholes for the new sewer main. Christ Church we had to cut across the Christ Church parcel, so they got a new sidewalk out of it. So returning to the vandalism that took place at the CSO, this is the ravine between the Central Fire Station and Oakdale. And if you remember, I described earlier that some of the netting that was intentionally placed to hold the soil intact was ripped, and that allowed the material to be undermined and shifted and broke one of the pieces of pipe. So that was excavated and repaired, and everything is back in place now. There are no trespassing signs there now, temporary ones, until we get the formal ones installed to keep this kind of delinquency from happening again, hopefully. The water department, we have, oh, as far as sewer extension permits, just, we have 3 of them, underway that have provided pretty thorough engineering. We've asked for some supplemental, information, but it looks like within the next month or so, we'll be sending the first packet to DEC. And, you know, it's a brave new world, but, you know, that process is undergoing. Water department, one of our blower motors, I don't know why this is here, this blower motor. This is part of the backwash and the flush system for the clarifiers. This was an original motor that was replaced. It was 20 years old. So, you know, just, you know, we have aging, not just the infrastructure, but even our mechanical systems aging and still require a lot of maintenance and replacement. This is actually at the Promenade Hill, and it turns out that there was one valve that turned off the water to the fountain as well as the splash pad. When the damage was done to the splash pad, we had to shut off the supply. It didn't, you know, it never occurred that there would be a need to have one on and not, the other one not. So water department installed an isolation valve, so at least we could have water going to the fountain. We're probably going to have to do excavation to figure out how to repair that splash pad, and we'll do that in the off season. It's like one of those little feel good stories. Our guys are out in Churchtown and they noticed this owl on the ground. It wasn't doing too well, and they packed it up into a box, brought it in. We called a local rehabber who took the owl. This was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and apparently the owl was nursed back to health. I guess it had eaten a poisoned rodent or something like that, and once it did its purge and everything else, it's been released back to nature. So just one of those little feel-good stories.
Cool.
You know, so post, you know, with the streetlight acquisition, what we have is National Grid has moved. I don't think National Grid's moved 15 utility poles in the 15 years I've been here, and they've moved about 50 of them this year. Now that we own the lights, so all of the infrastructure that city that is on the one pole has to get moved over to the new one. So, you know, we're incurring some pretty hefty electrician costs because you can see it's pretty technical work. You know, it have to be high voltage certified. You know, this is the traffic light that had to be relocated to a new pole. I mean, we're glad that they're upgrading their infrastructure, but it just seems that it's an awful lot all at once. So as part of the 7th Street Park redesign, you know, we have to bring some new power over to it. But, you know, every once in a while people say, well, how come this outlet doesn't work, or how come that doesn't work? Well, this is why, because everything that's there is ancient and garbage. And this will all be updated next year. And this is the city's high-tech timer system that was used for the former fountain. And so it'll be all digital now. We won't need any of these, you know, these low-tech switches. The traffic light at 4th and Warren was replaced. That was after a car mowed it over. As part of the DRI project, there's a whole line of new street lights that are going on the west side of Front Street. But when they killed the power to that, a lot of there was conduit that fed a number of lights on the other side. So that's what those light towers are for, to get some supplemental light. And then we have a couple that still are energized. They'll be setting new poles within the next month, and then, you know, hopefully this power, you won't need the light towers after that. As more of the streetscape project, these are new ramps on 1st and Warren. So those are all installed. What happens next is they're going to have to do put binder in for some seasonal restoration, and that'll hold everything in place. They will be coming back in the spring to finish the work. They're about 55% of the way through the project.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
The band around the sidewalk, is that going to be filled in sooner than later?
That's where the binder's going that I just described. So I think that'll be done before the end of this season, and that'll be tied up. And then when they come back next year and finish up everything, everything will be milled down, and then it'll get top coat, and it'll be a finished grade. But it will get asphalt for the winter.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Just more examples of horizontal sawing. This was part of the ADA. So in this instance, all of these horizontal saws for, I forget how many intersections were done, but there were dozens, and I think the total project was 30,000, as opposed to repouring each one of them for about $5,700 each. So, you literally got it for, 20 cents on the dollar. And there are the detectables. Equipment, this is just an older truck. It's about 20 years old. We had the frame redone, it's not a plow truck anymore. We removed the belly plow. It'll just be a dump truck, but it's, $15,000 worth of repairs, but, a replacement truck is a couple $100,000. So, we try and keep these things going as long as possible. Ferry Street Bridge, these are the pans. So, we are actually going to do our first pour on the north deck, scheduled to start tomorrow between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. These pans are what keep the concrete from falling through to the tracks. And, the rebar gets installed, and that's what ties everything in together. This safety system that you'll see below here, it looks like the pans to the left, but because of this, we don't need the flaggers for Amtrak anymore. So hopefully that should save us a couple $100,000. And the reason is because the flaggers charge about $35,000 a month. And they stop the work whenever the train is coming through. But with this safety shield in place, it's not an issue anymore. So that's something that we'll see coming back to us at the end of the project.
A couple of
Infrastructure.
here. I'm sorry, Rob.
What's that?
How much was it saving us? Did you say?
Well, we had to give an escrow amount of $350,000 for flaggers, so that when there's a safety team down on the tracks that tells our bridge workers that they can't work whenever a train's coming through. But by installing this shield system, we don't have to worry about paying for the flagger because nothing can fall down onto the track. So there's no risk of anything falling and damaging the track. So there's no need for a flagger down there. So, we're hoping that, like I said, we've paid the $350 up front. We're hoping that a couple $100,000 will come back at the end of the project when we close out. These are just infrastructure. This is a future base for a new street light. And this is a future water main that we used to have water service that went by the bridge over to Water Street. And there was a break over that 20 years ago. The water was abandoned, and now we're just installing new infrastructure so we can get that loop down to Water Street again. These are the famed bearings that we were waiting so long for. They were supposed to be here in July and installed in August. They finally came last month. So there's not really much to look at. Here they are installed under the bridge. So that's why we're able to proceed. But it did cause a 3-month delay. And based on the amount of work that has to get done, how late we are in the season, there's no way to finish this bridge in this season. We'll continue working as long as weather permits, but at some point there will be a shutdown for the winter, and then we'll get back at it in April, and hopefully, in May probably is a good time, but nice celebration of the spring season. But it was unfortunate. We couldn't build the bridge without the bearings, and that's how it goes. Cemetery. So, the guys just, doing more seasonal stuff, pushing the leaves down the hill. And then once they get down to the road, this is they retrofit this dump truck. There's a little vacuum with a saws in it, cuts up the leaves, throws them in the back of a box, and then we go dump them. We blow out the courtesy water mains. And you can see this is on the farthest end, the kind of the spritz coming out of it. And, these are the files that were down at the Dunn warehouse. These files have been moved at least 3 times that I'm aware of. They were formerly at Charles Williams School. Before that, they were in a garage behind 444 Warren Street. And I think they were somewhere else too. So anyway, we have the cemetery house is empty. The HCDPA is applying for a grant to go through these to decide what's permanent and what's not. And whatever can be saved will get, will be preserved, and whatever doesn't have to be will be thrown out, and hopefully we'll find a permanent place for it somewhere in City Hall, and then that'll be the end of it. So there was a NYSERDA grant that the CAC got for electric equipment. So this is the first vendor was able to provide about a third of what we needed. And because, the chargers and everything are proprietary to the product, they're not interchangeable. So we returned what little we did get, and we were able to get the $15,000 worth of, and there's saws, and there's a lot of batteries and these superchargers, and some weed whackers and so forth, blowers. And this
Yay,
is,
thank you very much, Rob.
sure, this is the invoice. I don't have the last page of it, but it was like 15,000, a little bit over, but we covered that. And I think that's it.
Thank you, Rob. Questions from council members?
Just to backtrack on those deeds, does the city of Hudson have like a compost pile that's accessible by citizens? Is that something?
All we do is you put them in the paper bag, we collect them, and then we dump them, behind St. Mary's.
Anyone else?
Maybe something for the CAC to look into.
Public? Anyone in the public?
Yes, that's a big.
Okay, thank you, Rob.
All right, thank you.
Moving right along, we're on to resolutions. First resolution. Right. Wow, if you're kind of in my attention. You put up?
Oh,
Duration.
all right. Which one are we at?
No,
First one.
calm down. Just calm down. Down.
Look to the description to the left and say proposed resolution. Maybe you'll see that.
Further down?
There you go.
Fire department, thank you. Sorry, my eyes aren't as good as.
Okay. We have a resolution accepting a donation from SEIU Union on behalf of the fire department. Can I have an introduction in a second? Tricia and Ronnie. Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Belton. Aye. Gasparuti. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Mizan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Carhagen.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Roni.
Aye.
Star.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Presley Pietro.
Aye.
Carried.
The next resolution authorizes a change in short-term software tracking company. Introduction and a second, please. Jennifer and Delon. Questions?
Sorry, Tom, can you post the resolution, or Logan, can you post the resolution? It's
Yeah.
not for you.
Yeah, they're going. Hold
So
on a second, everyone.
The resolution is still not showing on the screen.
Who's got it?
One more down. That wasn't that count.
Which one?
That's a.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Sorry, still not seeing it, Logan.
Hmm.
Oh,
Probably. That's the correct.
okay. How's that?
Thank you.
Questions?
Yeah, I have a number of questions about this. I'm sorry, we just went back to the city website.
Why did that happen? There we go.
Yeah, so this resolution appears to be a resolution for us to enter into an agreement with an organization that will charge us a minimum of $3,500 a year, not to exceed 5.4 annually. Right now, we have identified 69 properties that we are aware of that are short-term rentals. It's not clear to me what we're gaining from this. And when I read the agreement with this organization, it's not clear to me that we're not just paying them to look up what will be the registry from the state. If we have identified a property that we know to be a short-term rental, we have to provide them with the address, etc., of that property. But even if we identify those properties, we still have to pay them $3,500 a year, which is the equivalent of, I don't know, 300 properties a year. And I'm not sure what we're gaining from this. I have a lot of questions about this.
Well,
So I'm just, it's not clear to me. We already are paying Michelle Tulo a pretty sizable salary, plus a 50% FTE person doing compliance. And now we're going to engage with a company that, as far as I don't, and also their work product is their work product. We do, as of our, retains their work product. It's not ours, so we don't get any right of the information that they have acquired. And in my years of working with states, our work product was always the product of, it always belonged to the states. So I don't think this is a very good agreement. And I think we're paying a lot of money for something that we could potentially get for free from New York State once they get their registry up and running. And also there's this like minimum payment of 3,500, even if we've identified properties. So I am not sure what we're getting from this. I don't see it.
Well, first of all, I think that was an inappropriate comment about Michelle Tulo's salary, since we do not
Sorry?
pay it. I said, I think that was a totally inappropriate comment about Michelle Tulo's salary, since we do not pay it, paid from a grant. But putting that aside, the state has done nothing on getting their registrations started. So I think this is replacing a much more expensive company that we use at present. Any other questions from council members?
I mean, could we have like a presentation or something for the finance committee? On the, or whatever, or informal or something?
My question is like, is it gonna be a big issue if we cable it?
Right.
No.
Fine.
Yeah, we should. I mean, ideally, I mean, maybe she was gonna be online on informal and she wasn't.
I
Right,
think
she
if
was-
Phil was
she wa-
here.
she was here for the
She was
informal
ready to
explaining.
give the-
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, you're right.
Unfortunately, it's-
Yeah, so can we move to table?
Yes. I'll table it. We don't need a motion.
Very good.
We have an introduction.
Oh, we have an introduction, second. We do need a motion.
Oh.
Motion taken. Ron and Gary, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
All right.
Anyone opposed?
No,
That was still necessary. Third, the next resolution. What's going on here?
Yeah, let me try something different because it keeps lagging. So I'm gonna bring it new. Here we go. It keeps on full
The
screen.
next resolution authorizes transfer of funds within the Public Works, Sanitary, Water, and Sewer Department accounts. Can I have an introduction and a second, please? Ron. Gary.
Is that not the right?
having such a hard time with this?
I have to remove each one because that's full screen, so I can't get out of that one. It's sort of a complicated thing. Okay, hold on. Now our meeting's gone. There we go. Which one is it? Water and sewer?
Public Works, Cemetery, Water and Sewer, yeah. Okay.
Bond resolution for water distribution?
No. Authorizing transfer funds.
Here, let's do this. Okay.
There we go. Okay, and this has been introduced, right? Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Deskaludi. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Mizan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sauer.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
President Pietro.
Aye.
Carried.
The next resolution is assessing past due water. There it is, right? There, okay. And sewer rents to real property tax roll for collection with taxes. When people don't pay their water and sewer fees, taxes, it gets added to their general tax collection. Introduction, second, please. Ron and Tricia. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Deskaludi. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Mizan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sauer.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
President Pietro.
Aye.
Carried.
The next, there we go, authorizes a budget transfer for expenses related to agreement with Assemblage Landscape Architecture. Didn't we do this already?
They're asking for the 5,000.
Oh,
So it was approved by resolution number 1 to allow for that expenditure, but there was no money appropriated.
oh, okay, so we did. Can I have an introduction in a second, please? Ron, Tricia. And Dawn. Any questions? A roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Deskaludi.
Aye.
Moranti.
Aye.
Mizan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sauer.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
President Pietro.
Aye.
Carried.
The next resolution denounces hate crimes in the city. Can I have an introduction in a second? Rich and Jennifer. Any questions?
Is that presented by a citizen or?
Yes.
or just-
So-
Presented by Councilmember Vogel.
So I'm putting this forward because there have been 1 or 2 instances here in the city recently, and I mean, granted, it's symbolic, but I do encourage anyone that is a victim of a hate crime to remember, basically what this reminds people is that there's still a hate crime law out there in New York State. So I encourage people that if they are a victim of a hate crime to report it to our local police so that it becomes at least a statistic. And that there is a number here that you can call 844-NO, the number 2, HATE, HATE, 844-NO2-HATE, where people can call to also log the statistic, as well as a website. So this is just like a reminder to everyone that New York State does have a hate crimes law.
Can we put that number and that information on the website?
Yes, and I think that we have that. Do we have that information on our website now or no?
I don't know.
All right, it's in the resolution, and
You can,
I'll follow up with that.
Yeah, follow up with Justin.
Rich, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember, it's a general overall, for
slick con-
Yeah, do you have a definition or a precise
Yes.
way of delineating what hate,
Yeah,
how to determine what hate is?
it's done by law.
There is
It's in
a,
the law.
it's in the law.
Is that something you can enunciate on?
Acts, which involved acts and speech motivated by a victim's race, ethnicity, gender identity, sexual orientation, religion, or other protected characteristic in New York State, in New York State. So yes, that is what is defined as hate crime.
Thank you.
It's not just, I hate my lunch.
Leave the jokes to me, will you?
But yes, it is, there are definitions of hate crimes.
Continue to hit your jobs. That's allowed.
Well, listen, as long as it's nourishing.
Can I propose a small spelling correction on that?
Oh,
On the second whereas, crimes against Jewish and Muslim should be Muslim.
Oh, I thought it was against the founder.
Yeah. Oddly enough, Muslim is from the country that we're from.
Ah, there you go. Yes. Please correct that. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Zaskalewicz. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Mizan.
Aye.
Morris.
Hi,
Carhagen.
Aye.
Roberts. Roni.
Aye.
Sauer.
No.
Volo.
aye.
President Pietro.
Aye.
Carried.
Now, the next three resolutions all have to do with the Public Works Board. The first, and I'll ask Gary to, if there's questions, to answer some of them. The first authorizes the mayor to execute a contract with Frank Bosberg to bring the intersection of South Side of Union Street from 7th to the police station to the court building into ADA compliance. An introduction, a second, please. Come on. Ron and Joanne. Any questions?
yeah, so, sorry, Tom, what is this about?
So can I give a brief
Yeah.
status and put it all into perspective, because there are going to be three resolutions. So I'm representing the Public Works Board here. And before we move forward, I'd just like to give you a brief overview as to where we stand and give you some sense as to why these resolutions are coming forward. As you all know, we entered into an agreement with Crawford and Associates a number of months ago to be the project manager for the ADA sidewalk compliance. As they were coming on board and ramping up, learning what was out there in terms of the Hyman Hayes report that the DOJ cited, the DOJ began to really put pressure on the city to show progress. So with the project manager, we sort of shifted from a big picture analysis as to how can we get the biggest bang for the buck, efficiently addressing the big picture, to responding specifically to the DOJ's hit list. They gave us specific sites as to their concerns. Specifically, it was, if you will, streets that were leading towards municipal buildings. The DPW took on the responsibility to fix a number of curbs here on Warren Street. They engaged Precision Safe Sidewalks to do those ramps. You may have seen them creating a lot of dust. They were saving us a lot of money versus tearing up the sidewalks and replacing them new. And we look to use them as we move forward. Crawford and Associates as project manager and our own Public Works Commissioner looked at, identified two standalone projects. Again, two occurrences that the DOJ had cited as being problematic. And the first was the intersection of 3rd Street and Cherry, where the youth department is. Last time I came forward with this, you authorized a contract. That work has been completed, satisfactory. The next resolution, and the first one I'm going to be bringing forward, is the second standalone project that was identified, and that is the intersection of Union and 7th and the work will be done specifically on the eastern side of that intersection. So there's one corner that I think where's the old cigar shop used to be. That will be ADA compliant ramp. And across the street, there's no sidewalk for about 30 feet. That will be installed. That project, we put out bid. It's low enough that we didn't have to go to public bidding. And the contractor, Frank Vosberg and Sons, came in at $25,250. We went out to 5 or 6 people, contractors. The only other bid we got was from Luzizi at $59,000. It's a reflection of looking for bids at the end of the year, and you're much better off when you start the new year fresh. So
Gary, this is, I'm looking up Union Street to 7th and where the old cigar shop was. What exactly is this doing?
So exactly what it's doing on that corner, which
Yeah.
is the northeastern corner of the intersection. There's
Yeah.
going to be, the sidewalk needs to be repaired, and ADA compliant ramp
Okay,
across
Okay.
the street. Okay,
got it, thank you.
so that's resolution 1. Let me move forward and we'll just finish up. I just need another few minutes.
Sure.
We think that the work done so far will satisfy the DOJ for the time being, which will allow us again to look forward in terms of moving in a much more efficient manner. With that said, with the diversion that took place with the focus of the project manager, Crawford and Associates, we still have work to be completed, although the hours and services have been pretty much exhausted in the initial contract. So I'm coming back with amendment number 1 to the initial contract with Crawford and Associates for $20,000, which will allow us to use them to complete the project management over Union and 7th, and also continue to work on developing a database so we can come up with assessment values to inject them into the system, which we're now working on as well. So that 20,000 amendment, the second resolution will be to continue Crawford and Associates as project managers, primarily for the assessment data that we need, and also to manage the Union and 7th Street. Then there's a final resolution, which will basically be saying another extension to the initial Crawford and Associates contract, which will have them managing a much bigger picture. That will have to go out to public bid. They'll manage the RFP process, get it out beginning of the season, and we're looking at 5th, 6th, and 7th Street, all of the ramps that the DOJ has identified, and attack that in mass so we can realize some real gains. And so that's what the last resolution is about.
Great. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
So the first one, a roll call vote, please, unless there's more questions.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Deskaludi. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Mizan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sauer.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Presley Pietro.
Aye.
Carried.
The next resolution, an introduction and a second, please. Devon?
Yeah, this is what Gary just went through.
Is that sure shot. A roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Deskaludi. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Mizan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sauer.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Presley Pietro.
Aye.
Carried.
And the third one, an introduction and a second, please. Sure shot and Ron.
I thought Gary would be all
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it seems like it's wrong, I mean.
No, wait.
over. You did all the work.
You're very right.
It'd be right for you to introduce.
Yeah, don't worry about
I'm
it.
not.
Roll call vote.
Councilmember Belton. Aye. Deskaludi. Aye. Moranti.
Gary, I do want to thank you for all the hard work. You took a heavy lift here, so.
We're in the middle of vote, Dominic. Fine, let's get this approved, then you're gonna.
I'm sorry,
I did say that.
thank you.
He
Nissan,
was- he was-
Morris,
Aye.
Fernhagen,
Aye.
Roberts. Roney.
Aye.
Sauer,
Yeah, you did good work. Yeah.
Volo.
Aye.
Presley Pietro.
Aye.
Carried.
And yes, Gary.
Now, thank you, Gary. Thank you. Thank you, Gary.
There's a good team, and what I left out, and if I need to take a moment, in the middle of all of this, Jason Foster, who is the Public Works Commissioner, and was very hands-on this project, working with Crawford and Associates, resigned from that position, and both Justin Weaver as the ADA coordinator and Crawford and Associates have both stepped up in my mind to really fill that vacuum that was concerning me greatly. So, there's a real team effort there.
Okay, the next two resolutions are just seeker determinations. Number 10 determines that we have two laws we're going to vote on tonight. And one's a tow truck rental regulation. It's a type 2 action, which means it is not subject to further review under seeker. Can I have an introduction in a second, please? Ronnie and Tushar. Do we need our refresher on seeker, or are we prepared to vote? Okay, we'll vote.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Deskaludi. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Nizan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Roney.
Just to be clear, we're voting on the law.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, we're looking at the seeker.
the seeker, okay, all right.
The law comes right.
Not necessarily.
Sauer.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Presley Pietro.
Aye. And the next one is the secret determination for the brush, grass, and weeds law. Introduction in a second, please. Ron and Gary. Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Deskaludi. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Nizan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sauer.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Presley Pietro.
Aye.
Carried.
Okay. The last resolution authorizes the transfer of funds within the police department accounts. Ron and Trisha, any questions?
I'm sorry, what are these about?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you said,
Hey,
Margaret.
I'm sorry, can you explain what these transfers are?
Each one or general?
No, I mean, in general, what are we doing here? We're transferring from utilities.
Police department accounts, from utilities to
Yeah, that's
maintenance.
fine. Yeah, that's fine. No, I looked at it. Thank you. It's fine.
A roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Deskaludi. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Nizan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sauer.
Aye.
Volo.
Aye.
Presley Pietro.
Aye.
Carried.
The next item of business are the bills. So, any questions?
Why is there nothing there?
Excuse me?
Why are there no bills?
Which is bills like, they want money, not bills like legislation.
I understand
Oh,
the
okay.
difference. I was the treasury secretary.
Okay. Can I have an introduction and a second to pay the bill?
Wait, hold on. The 2009 for Azavon, does that get paid even though we haven't passed a resolution yet?
Yeah, we can,
Sorry.
what happens is we should take it out. That was a
I-
review.
Is it related to that same software or is that?
Yes, this as of our technology is about the short-term rentals. Why are we paying them if we haven't got an agreement with them yet?
Hello?
Yes, Heather?
As of our Technologies is and has been for the past half decade, our software provider for short-term rental registration and tax collection. These bills are for those services, not the
Got it.
new one.
Got it. Thank you, Heather. Thanks.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Belton.
Aye.
Deskaludi. Aye. Moranti.
Aye.
Nizan.
Aye.
Morris.
Aye.
Fernhagen,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Star,
Aye.
Volo,
Aye.
Presley Pedro.
Aye.
Carried.
And now we get to the local laws. The first one is tow trucks. Can I have an introduction and a second, first of all? Barry? Kershaw? Questions?
Tom, the only question I have is, which you and I discussed, there was a revision to this to ensure that individuals who had a prior conviction who had satisfied all terms of their conviction could still engage, and that has been addressed in this new law, correct?
Crystal, did we have to add that tonight, or is it in there?
So the law was already written so that it's up to the discretion of the chief of police to determine whether a conviction would preclude an operator from being provided a permit. And that would be
Yeah.
based on safety and welfare. So that discretion was already written into the law, so I didn't think it needed to be changed.
Okay. So the law currently indicates that if an individual has a felony conviction, it's up to the police department to determine, but they do have the authority to say, okay, is that correct?
That's exactly it. Yes, it's a safety determination at the discretion of the chief of police.
Okay.
So, roll call vote.
I mean, there's a part of me that doesn't have an issue with that, Crystal. But then there's another perspective, which is if someone has a conviction, they've served their term, they've served their parole, etc. Why should they not be able to engage in lawful business?
And that's
you said-
covered. I think the chief would take that fully into consideration.
And doesn't Good Slate take over some of that too?
Yeah.
It just got passed.
So let's vote.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what was being said.
The Clean Slate law should be taking some of that. It just passed.
Sorry?
The
The
Clean
clean
Slate.
slate law was signed into law today.
And that will address
That's what I'm
it.
saying.
I mean, I hear what Margaret is saying. I mean, we know that our current chief is a very fair person, and I feel very comfortable in leaving the decision in her hand. But if an individual has served his time and is recognized as a full citizen, why should that person even need to be judged?
That's where I'm going, Gary. It's like you've
Yeah.
served your time, you've done your parole. Are we now going to prevent you from being gainfully employed in legal trade? I'm just putting it out there. That's all. I'm just saying.
Let's vote.
Yeah, just chime in real quick. Don't you have?
I mean, this kind of just seems to me, by saying it's in the purview or at the discretion of the police department, means that, yeah, I've done my time, I've done my parole, I've done my community service, I've done everything I was supposed to do, and now I still can't get a job.
Only if it affects, and again, it's up to the council if they want to leave the discretion in there or not, but it is only if it affects public safety or welfare. So if it would not be a conviction that actually has any impact on public safety, or if it ends up being sealed under the clean slate law as well, that would not be eligible to deny a permit based on that.
So Crystal, what kind of thing would deny a permit? Let's focus on public safety. How could I, as somebody who had done time and finished my parole, be denied on the basis of public safety? Why might I be denied?
Again, this would be, fact-based based on, what the chief was seeing, but I supposed if there is a recidivism for, say, reckless driving, something that actually affects their actual operation of a tow truck vehicle, that something of that nature is kind of what comes to mind.
Okay.
But would that also be applied to a person who has not served time in prison?
It has nothing to do with whether you serve time in prison or not. That is not what this is. It doesn't speak to that at all. It is just criminal convictions.
But yeah, it's just about conviction. It doesn't matter about whether you might have been convicted and told to do community service and not have served any time.
Yeah, it doesn't, yeah,
Right.
There are similar general issues with this in terms of voting. Not your problem, it's just a more general.
That's
Point.
not on the point. Thank you, though. Are we ready to vote?
Before we go to roll call vote, Crystal, are there any versions of this in other municipalities where this is not at the discretion of the police department?
I would have to go back and take a look. I can tell you that this language specifically would have been based on a template that I had pulled from other municipalities, because what I had done is I had essentially I had taken a sampling of like 6 or 7 tow truck regulations throughout the state and took portions of all of those to put together this. So this would not be unique to Hudson. I don't know. I can't specifically tell you what the other municipalities were doing without going back and looking through each law.
Now, I understand that there were a couple of tow truck companies where in the first iteration of this would not have been able to engage with Hudson. Are those companies okay with this version of the law?
Yes, I know one of them, and they are.
Sorry, Tom, speak up.
Yes, I know one of the people, and they are happy with this version.
They're okay with this? Yeah, I mean, I would just really like to see it a little bit looser, if I could say that word, to where not so much it's at the discretion of the police to allow you or not allow you, but kind of going in the other direction, that unless there is some obvious reason to prevent someone, like they have to present some argument against having an individual who has a prior conviction from engaging, they have to proactively say, oh, no, we can't have this. That's all I'm saying. I would just like to see it slightly on the other hand. That's all I'm saying.
I think that I'm comfortable with having it, because, they got capabilities that we don't and others might not have, to look into the situation deeper and to make an honest opinion and be fair about it. And so we make it again looser, we might create a loophole, and now we're going to be subject ourselves to some liabilities or something. So I think leaving it up to
I get that.
review, I think I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah, okay. I get that.
Okay.
But we're still leaving a stigma on that individual.
Sorry?
I think we're still leaving, we're creating an exception for someone who has been convicted.
Yeah, but see, my thing is that we shouldn't be creating an exception for somebody who is convicted. We should be creating an exception for somebody who is a danger. So somebody who is convicted, has done time, has done their community service, whatever, finished their parole, etc., they should not be an exception. We should have a general rule that says, okay, you're good, you're square, you did your time, whatever, you didn't ever get convicted, whatever it is. Oh, wait a minute. Now we have an exception because we have an individual who, despite all of those things, is potentially a risk. So I'm just kind of saying it in the other side, which is the exception is people were not going to allow to do this, as opposed to we're going to say an individual who has a conviction, we're going to give you an exception because we know you're not a risk. You see what I'm saying? I would just prefer to see the exception on the side of where everybody's fine, except if we know that you are an actual risk, in which case we're not going to allow you to have this agreement. That's all I'm saying. I mean, yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I share you and Gary's concern about it, but the one thing that.
I'm sorry. Who's speaking?
This is Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I share you and Gary's concern. I can understand where you're coming from. But one thing that eases my mind is that this law, as described by Crystal, is narrowly defining which convictions would be under the purview of
Right.
the city police. It would be only ones that are related to dangers to the public. So it is not any conviction. It would be convictions that could be, tied to a public danger. And I think that because the police chief is literally charged with public safety, they should be the one to make that call. And if a citizen or a potential business entity has an issue with that, they can seek another opinion. And I think that law kind of.
Yeah.
Good-
you're
good
talking
point.
about public safety here, you have to be.
No, Ronnie, I think that's a valid point. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, I think we can vote.
Councilmember Felton,
Aye.
Castellucci,
Aye.
Moranti,
Aye.
Mizan.
Aye.
Morris,
Aye.
Bernhagen.
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sauer,
Aye.
Volo,
Aye.
President Pietro.
All right. Now, the next law is one that passed through the CAC, and it brings our code in compliance with the state code. We have a more ill-defined rule against weeds on property. This makes it more in compliance with the state code, which is a little freer and more definition.
Wait, which one is this now?
The brush.
The brush, please.
You can have.
Because the childcare, we're not doing.
Oh, that's it. Childcare is going back to legal.
Yeah, I totally agree with this, Ross.
So can I have an introduction then? Vicky and Rich. I guess a roll call vote then.
Councilmember Felton,
Aye.
Castellucci,
Aye.
Moranti,
Aye.
Mizan.
Aye.
Morris,
Aye.
Bernhagen,
Aye.
Roberts,
Aye.
Roney.
Aye.
Sauer,
Aye.
Volo,
Aye.
President Pietro.
Aye. Now, we're just going to put this next law on our desks. And I think you were alerted to this previously, or maybe not, but this is about interference with city officers, meaning city employees, and you can see all the definitions. And this is just putting us on our desks, not being voted on. So can I have an introduction of questions? Oh, yeah, let me just get the introduction.
Oh, sorry.
Introduction in a second, Ron and Tricia.
Are we city officers? Us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Chris, are we?
Yes.
Yes. we are.
Can I get a bed?
I'll make it.
We don't need a sneaking badge.
Whoa. You have a card. Okay, so that's on our desk.
So
yeah.
I'm sorry, Tom, can you just walk us through this, sir?
I'll let Crystal do that.
Yep.
So,
So what I did is we used a City of Albany law that dealt specifically really with its code enforcement department and harassment of its code enforcement department. And we broadened that a bit to cover city officers and essentially both the building inspector and their employees and staff, as well as the code enforcement officer and his employees and staff. And what this does is the main difference, and there was already an interference with city officers in the city code. So what this does is it adds a section, which is section B. It adds some definitions and also adds section B, which talks about harassment of city officers, and employees.
Sorry, Logan, can you scroll down, please, to section B so we can see that? Thank you.
It makes it so that a person would actually be guilty of a misdemeanor if they violate section B, which is harassment of your city officers, code enforcement, building inspector, and their employees. And that is the difference between that and what's already in state law right now, is that the harassment is not a a misdemeanor violation. It's not really a criminal violation. So what this does is it actually makes it a crime and makes it a misdemeanor, which comes with a little bit more stricter enforcement and more protections really for the city officers and staff
Right.
that may find themselves in these situations.
So, in light of some of our experiences last week, I'm wondering if there's any way to expand this to include harassment behavior of elected members of the council. I
It
mean,
is in there.
obviously, Crystal, code enforcement and DPW have been subjected to a lot of harassment. But I'm just wondering if there is some way, or whether maybe it's not even worth going down that road, but is there some way to try to address some of what happened last week?
Elected officials are included in the definition of city officer. So the
Got
way I
it.
define
Okay.
city officer is I took it from the charter,
Okay.
which is your appointeds and your electeds.
Okay.
I
So-
have a question. Could we expand this to include the city clerk and the employees that work underneath them?
No, the city clerk is there, it's the employees.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Oh, I
The
want
clerical staff,
everybody
and clerical staff, and then you've got the DPW guys out on the street.
and parking
Yes.
enforcement.
So we can expand this so it includes clerical staff and
Parking and-
however broad you want it to be. If it's any, you know,
I think essentially, Crystal, city employees should not be subjected to harassment.
Right, Margaret, if you could have a legal committee meeting, you could have this conversation.
Yeah.
Let's go into.
Sorry,
session.
I'm
So
sorry, I can't quite
if
hear.
you schedule a legal committee meeting, you could go through this law and work on it.
Okay, all right, yeah, sorry, last week was a bit of was a lost cause for me, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I just want to make sure that obviously DPW and code enforcement are currently being subjected to a level of harassment that's unacceptable. Yeah, okay, yeah. Crystal, you and I can connect on this, that's fine.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
moving along. We're gonna have an executive session, but before that, I want to open it up to the public because we'll just end after our executive session. So, or new business from council members first, public after. Dominic?
So from what my understanding is that there could be a way that we could link our cameras, city hall cameras, to give access to HPDs, or a way we can move that forward and see what we need to do so they can get remote access to the system, especially during live meetings and things like that. So when, so they can see us during live time. So can we see what we can do about making that happen?
Sure. You want to make that happen?
Me?
Yeah,
Sure.
okay, yeah, please pursue that.
Thank you.
Other members of council, any questions? The public, first I have Ron Kupnicki.
I just wanted to ask what the purpose of the executive session is going to be.
Well, I will announce it when we go into it. Before
Okay.
that, though,
Thank you very much.
you're welcome. Lloyd?
Your very kind third son. So I am your voice of reason. And as such, there are certain things. Now, I'm a little older than some of you, not as old as Tom, but I grew up with the first time where television brought the horrors of war into everyone's living. And I don't think that today we can appreciate what that was like, because I think we're insulated from the product of war, which is death and destruction and harm. Now, this council has done things like denounce hate crimes. Hate crimes. I would suggest that war is something far greater than your, I don't know, hate crime. And I don't know if you are aware of what happened today,
Yes.
in which the Russian president has virtually said that the United States has virtually
They've allowed
What
the
war?
Ukraine to use their on missiles.
But,
Using American
and he
missiles.
interpreted
No, I
that
wasn't aware of that.
as an act of war.
It was a joke.
No, listen, leave the jokes to me, come on. But anyway, seriously, now this is no, this strikes at our very being, as far as I'm concerned. My mom was ready to move to Canada when I was a kid, so that's how.
I don't know if Canada's safe from.
It may not be anymore, they might be just as bad. Anyway,
You still thinking about it?
I leave. Listen, I was looking at moving, but the house next door is not available, Tom. Anyway, I put it forth, and I know you're all good souls and good hearts. And the problem with war is, it's not the same. When I was a kid, there was upheaval against it.
I think the council, we've passed resolutions denouncing specific war.
I'm talking about your sanctuary city, right?
Sanctuary City.
You've done the denouncing, the Palestine ceasefire,
No.
right? The hate crimes today. So, you are, this is something that would be, up your alley. I do suggest.
We would be hard pressed to say no to a resolution that was presented to us.
So.
We will bear that in mind. Thank you for your gracious response, Gary. Thank you, and I will endeavor to keep it short and sweet.
Thank you, Gordon. Okay, Ron, do you have another question, or is that your hand still up? Ron Kovnicki?
I didn't have anything else, thanks.
Might be contradictory of action.
Hello? No, you done? Okay, can I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss potential litigation?
Tom, before we go into executive session, is there any other business after executive session?
No, I already made that clear.
Excuse me?
No.
Okay, because I just wanted to raise that so that I know when we come out of executive session, we make a statement to allow members of the public to understand that there will be no other business beyond executive session. That's all.
Yeah, that was already made clear. Can I have a motion during executive session? Ron and Saoirse. Thank you, everybody who's not welcome in executive session, but let's give this.
Let him come out from the airport.
Sorry.
So we know he's in the bed.
Lloyd
Lloyd.
went to the bathroom.
Oh,